On to Leicester City, who didn't have such an immense season, nor will they be super thrilled about being in the championship next year. The Premier League has changed the wording in the PSR rules to fix that loophole that Leicester City obviously used to avoid any PSR deductions. What is the significance of that?
Well, it really is meant to trap Leicester now, and basically the wording's been changed so that no matter what league you're in, until the season previously. So, for instance, if they're in the Championship now, and then the season previously they're in the, as of this season they were in the Premiership, until everything is discharged from this particular season, they are still considered to be in that league. So until the PSR roundup for this season is actually calculated, they would still be considered to be a Premiership club. So there's no saying, oh, we got relegated, we're in the Championship, so it doesn't count. And the Championship are going to be doing the same thing to them. So I would expect the EFL in the Championship to be levelling some sort of sanction or charge against Leicester for the time before. So they're in a tricky position now. We've yet to see how it goes. There's still an arbitration procedure going on as well. So they got problems in every way they turn right now. It's Leicester. It's a difficult one for them. A big dissatisfaction with the fans. Aircraft banners being flown, the whole thing. We know it's not a happy ship right now, and there are some serious financial issues creeping up. So Leicester is going to be really on the watch list, definitely over the summer.
And Jamie Vardy posted a very strongly worded note on social media. A little surprising to see him, of all people, do that. What did you make of that?
If I'd been chief executive, I would have been a little bit disappointed. I'd have said, well, look, Jamie, why weren't you saying something like this earlier? Why weren't you saying it internally, never mind externally? Why weren't you agitating internally to try and get the players motivated and moving things forward? Look, it's like, to me, I just think he could have kept his own counsel and not said anything at all. I think would have been the best thing. I don't think he's added anything in terms of what he said, other than trying to portray himself as understanding the fans' anger. He hasn't helped anything, and so it's not really that constructive. So I just don't see the point, other than Jamie trying to make a name for himself, I suppose, by trying to align with the fans. He's now older, and I don't think that is probably his last swan song in the Premiership. Will he go to somewhere like Saudi? Potentially, I don't know. But Jamie, I just don't think it was needed, and I don't think it helps. Everybody knows that the club's in a bad situation, and I think piling, venom and bad words onto it hasn't helped anybody. So, thanks, but no thanks.
And what are your thoughts on Sean Dyche as potentially the next manager of Leicester City in the Championship next season?
Yeah, look, Sean, as we know with Everton, has handled some very tricky ownership situations and some very tricky budget situations, as well as some tricky points deductions. So he's probably the perfect man to go into Leicester, having had that sort of experience, because it seems there's going to be a combination of all three again. Now, if Sean is a glutton for punishment, then yes, he is the perfect guy to look at that because of what he's had to do with Everton. And I think Leicester will be having it. Also, Sean's got great Championship experience with Burnley before, understands that level, and I think he'd be an absolutely perfect fit. He's tough, he's resilient, and as I say, he understands the twists and turns now of ownership, and has got those hard yards and the lashes on his back to show what can happen. So if they were lucky to get him, I think he would be a great choice because he's been through it. And Leicester are going to be coming into areas, uncharted waters for most of them, but not for Sean Dyche.